Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about first language acquisition. Let's start with my outline. I'll talk about these kind of terms, topics. Let's start with acquisition. Language acquisition is the process by which humans acquire the ability to comprehend and produce language. It can be first, second, and third language. Input. What's input? Input refers to the processable language the learners are exposed to while listening or reading. Caregiver speech. Simple way of speaking that is used when talking to a child or other person who is learning to speak language. For example, it is like talking with language with a child language. For example, when the mother says look, and the child looks at pictures. When mother says what are those, child bubbles, drink and smiles, and mother says that yes, there are rabbits, and like that. The acquisition schedule. Cooing. Cooing, also known as gurgling or mewing, is another universal stage of development and generally occurs when babies are around 6 and 8 weeks old. It is thought that during this stage, the child is discovering its vocal cords like coo, goo, and ga, ga, like that. Cooing, the earliest use of speech sounds, has been described as cooing. During the first few months of life, the child gradually becomes capable of producing sequences of vowel like uh, F, U, like that. Babbling. Babbling is a stage of early language development when baby makes consonant, vowel, or vowel consonant sounds such as ma, da, or da, da, mama, like that. It is called babbling. The one word stage, 9 and 8 months. Children have developed enough language skills to say single words during this stage. For example, milk, cookie, cat, cup. The two-word stage. During this stage, children start using two-word sentences. For example, baby chair, mommy eat, cat bed. As you can see from the topic title, it have two words. Telegraphic speech. The telegraphic stage occurs around the age of 2 years. In this stage, children begin stringing more than two words together. More than two or three, it can be 3, 4, 5, like that. For example, this shoe all wet. As we can see, as we can understand from this sentence, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 words. Cat drink milk. There are 3 words. Acquisition process. The study of language acquisition explores the process by which language learners acquire first or second languages, as well as the properties of language systems that they acquire. Let's focus on two things: learning through imitation, learning through correction. What's learning? Learning through imitation. Child may repeat single words or phrases, but not the sentence structure. For example, when I say the dogs are hungry, then a child who have at this stage can repeat that: dog hungry. What about the learning through correction? It's really easy. Corrections are a very effective determiner of how the child speaks. There is a correction here. It's really easy and really effective way. Let's move with developing morphology. Child acquire inflectional and functional morphemes, then ing form, then plural form, like that, then plural marker, and then it's accompanied by the our generalization, um, uh, like that. Develop in some inflectional and functional acquisition of morphemes, ing form, in, on, plural, irregular past tense, possessives, as, articles, past tense, like that. Developing syntax. There have been numerous studies of the development of syntax in children's speech. We will focus on two of them: forming questions, acquisition of questions. There are three stages. Stage 1 is how can we explain this stage? There are two words and we add where. For example, where Cemil. Stage 2, there are three words and we can add what and why. For example, what book name. As we can see from the example, there are three words and there are what. Stage 3, there are three or four words, and we add who and how. Who did you go? Like that. Forming the negative, acquisitions of negatives, there are three stages. Stage 1, we add no or not to the beginning. For example, no doing it. Stage 2, add no or not to verb. He, no, bite you. Stage 3, add didn't or won't to verb. I didn't code it. Let's move with developing the semantics. The study of semantics is an important area of word meaning, references, sentence, logic, and allocations. Yes, one child first used bow wow to refer to a dog, and then to a fur piece with glass eye. A sort of things, and then a bed thermometer. And we can say that this process is called overextension. The most common pattern is for the child to overextend the meaning of a word, similarities of shape, sound, and size. Yes, this is my references. Thank you for listening to me.